The Organization of American States, as well as the ABCE countries, America, Britain, Canada, and the European Union, via separate press releases on Wednesday, have called for an end to the electoral process locally, as well as for political parties to respect the will of the majority of the electorate based on the results of the national recount exercise. The ABCE countries, in its joint statement, said, "It is important in our view that every vote cast by every voter must be respected in that declaration in order to ensure the will of the people of Guyana is respected." In its statement, which was issued separately, the Organization of American States, OAS, stated, "GECOM is therefore already in possession of a result based on the valid votes cast on March 2, 2020 through a recount exercise that was approved by all stakeholders." Commenting on the missives from the foreign missions, political scientist and WPA member Dr. David Hines had this to say.
That statement ignores the ruling of Guyana's Court of Appeal, and it is disrespectful to our legal system. The Guyana Court of Appeal made very clear in its ruling that more votes means more credible votes. More valid votes. And Mr. Lowenfield's report is consistent with that ruling of the court.
Meanwhile, attorney at law Sanjeev Dattadin believes the statements are accurate and timely.
That's accurate, isn't it? They came here and they said that the recount produced the will of the electorate. They said it was unshakable. The OAS is simply saying that we've gone through all of this. We've now done a recount. You have to respect the will of the people. Stop inventing things, stop making things up about migrant and dead voters, which there was no proof produced to anyone at any stage. So I agree with them.
Also weighing in on the releases by the foreign missions is Dr. Henry Jeffrey of the newly founded party, A New and United Guyana, who posited that the position taken by the Chief Elections Officer, Keith Lowenfield, is reasonable given that he believes invalid votes were mixed with those deemed to be valid.
I would say yes, for the most part. It should be done as speedily as possible and in the interest of the Guyanese people. The CEO, at least of GECOM, thinks so, and he runs GECOM. Obviously, he believes that votes in the boxes are not necessarily votes that are valid. And therefore, that is what the OAS has observed. That is what essentially he is saying. He is saying that votes were placed in the boxes illegal and other manner, and therefore these things have to be taken into consideration before he can present a position that that these are valid votes to the Guyanese people. And I think that's a reasonable position.
According to the statement by the ABCE countries, pending the outcome of the appeal to the CCJ, we trust GECOM to meet its constitutional duty to issue a declaration on the basis of the results of the recount as confirmed by CARICOM to ensure the democratic choice of the people is fulfilled. Meanwhile, the OAS has stated that it remains committed to the strengthening of democracy in Guyana, hoping for a just and fair conclusion of the current process. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Wendell Badrie.